Hey there to all the ambitious achievers and hustlers tuning in. If you are constantly chasing those huge goals, always aiming for perfection, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to pull back the curtain on a truth that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. What it really costs to be at the top of your game, right? Because let's be honest, success looks absolutely incredible from a distance. But we have to talk about what's actually going on underneath it all. There's almost always a hidden price to pay. This combination of crushing weight and, a deep loneliness that just never makes it into the Instagram highlight reel. And that brings us right to our first major point. This incredible, immense weight of expectations that so many high performers are carrying, and a lot of the time, they're carrying it in total silence. This pressure, it feels like it's coming from two directions at once, doesn't it? On one side, you've got that intense pressure we put on ourselves, that inner voice that's just always setting the bar impossibly high. And then on the other side, you've got the external stuff, pressure from your family, from society, and that very human need for validation. It creates this constant nagging feeling that you have to do more, be more, but real fulfillment always feels just out of reach. So when you're living inside that pressure cooker, the fear of failure becomes your constant companion. It's that little voice whispering, "But what if you don't make it this time? What if you mess up?" And that fear is exactly what traps you. It puts you into a state of permanent overdrive. You're overworking, you're always anxious about what's next, and you can never, ever truly switch off. Now, this whole cycle, it's fueled by one thing in particular: perfectionism. We're talking about that relentless, nonstop push to be flawless. And look, sometimes it can feel like a superpower, but when great is never actually good enough, that drive for perfection comes with a really steep price. And that cost is it's devastating. Perfectionism quietly eats away at your mental and physical health. It leads directly to anxiety, depression, and full-blown burnout. It's the real reason behind those tension headaches and those long sleepless nights. But here's the most crucial part. When your self-worth gets completely tangled up with your achievements, every single tiny stumble can feel like a complete, catastrophic personal failure. But, that internal battle is really only half the story. That intense focus, that grind, often build into another huge challenge: a profound, deep loneliness that comes from being on that path. Think about it. When you're working that hard, your social connections are usually the first thing to go. You can find yourself feeling completely and utterly isolated, surrounded by people, maybe, but with this deep, nagging sense that nobody really gets the kind of pressure you're dealing with day in and day out. And in that lonely, quiet space, another voice starts to get louder. It's imposter syndrome. Despite all the proof of your success, all the goals you've absolutely crushed, this question just keeps popping into your head. Are you really good enough? It's such a heavy doubt to carry, and it makes it almost impossible to ever feel secure in what you've accomplished. And this whole thing can lead to a really surprising and frankly painful realization. You finally get there. You reach that summit you've been climbing towards for so long, and instead of feeling euphoric, you just feel hollow. That emptiness comes from all the sacrifices you made to get there. The moments you missed with friends, the relationships that just faded away, the parts of yourself you had to put aside for the sake of the goal. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, here's the good news. There are powerful, practical strategies you can use to manage these challenges and to build a healthier, more sustainable way to be successful. Think of this as your toolkit for a healthier hustle, and it all starts inside. First up is self-compassion, literally learning to talk to yourself with the same kindness you'd give to a good friend. From there, you can practice mindfulness. This helps you just observe those feelings of pressure without getting totally swept away by them. Next, it's about making your ambition work for you, not against you. Set realistic goals. Break those huge projects down into smaller pieces. And this is so important, celebrate the small wins along the way. Finally, look outward. You have to actively nurture your connections, because that sense of belonging is a powerful antidote to the grind. And if that weight is just too much, seek support. Talking to a friend or family or a therapist, that is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. All of these strategies really point toward a much bigger idea.
It might be time to move beyond the old conventional definition of success and really redefine what a win truly means for you personally.
And right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. True success isn't just about hitting targets or being seen as perfect. It's about feeling like you matter. It's about your health, your happiness, your connections to other people. Your well-being isn't just some part of the journey, it is the destination. That's the real win.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Forget the massive goals, just for a moment. What's one small, kind thing you will do for yourself today? Because that, right there, is where sustainable success truly begins.